myself. Marla, Rolanda, and Susan, thank you all for joining us. We're also here joined by Lachey Long. She is the Director of Admissions. Thank you all for your patience. Chad is the Director. The legal programs, but I'll give him a chance to introduce himself once we get to the next slide. But I will start and begin. I won't be speaking for too long in the beginning, but again, once it gets to Chad, who'll give a formal introduction of himself, and then we'll jump straight into the program as far as the ins and outs. At face value there, the core value of the MSPS is to learn today what you can apply tomorrow. So be sure to take in all that you can once you do begin your classes. Even beforehand, I know that a few students have reached out to me, myself. My wife is a lawyer here, so I've put her in contact with a few students. Chad is a great resource. A lot of the questions that I get about paralegal studies, obviously I direct to him. As I deal primarily with the admissions, but what you learn in class will be utilized
All
out of
right, let me
class.
just
It's
start
very
my camera
practical,
here.
very useful information that you'll be getting both
Here we
before
go.
you
So
begin
everybody should be able to
classes
see me
and
now.
after.
My
So
name
even
is
if you
Chad
are
Smith, as Mr.
considering other
Harris said. Thank
schools,
you for the
we
introduction.
are very much
I'm the
so in
Director of
line
Legal
with the
Programs
Catholic
here at the
principle. So
Metropolitan
if our
School of
school is
Professional
not the best
Studies.
fit for you, we will
And
communicate
that
that to
entails me
you
running the
in a
paralegal
very loving
program,
way
managing the
to help you
classes,
along your journey.
creating the
And with
content,
that,
and also teaching the
Chad, you can take
courses
it away.
here. I myself have been an attorney, a practicing attorney for over 10 years, and I've been teaching paralegals for about the same length of time at various universities. I myself was a paralegal for a number of years prior to going to law school. And then after law school, I continued working as an attorney. I've practiced in a number of different areas, from criminal law to civil litigation, insurance litigation, various different areas. And I'd be happy to answer any questions you have about the program. But to tell you a little bit more about the actual program, we have essentially the first version we have is the Paralegal Studies Certificate. That is an undergraduate certificate. It is 13 courses, 39 credits, and it takes a little over a year to complete and up to 2 years. That really will depend on how many credits you take a semester. Each class is 3 credits, and most students take 2 to 3 classes a semester. So if you want to finish a little sooner, then obviously you take more classes. If you want to space it out, you can take less in a semester, and we work with you based on your schedule. The next is we also have an Associate of Arts in Paralegal Studies. That is for students who are looking to obviously get an AA. It includes the 13 paralegal courses that are part of the certificate, but it adds 8 general education courses in the areas of math, English, philosophy, and various general education areas. That takes a little over 2 years to complete, and again, that'll vary based on the credits you take per semester. Finally, for those of you who are more interested in the actual curriculum, there's 9 core courses for the paralegal program that whether you're in the certificate or you're in the AA, that all students would take. As you can see on the screen, Introduction to Paralegal Studies, which generally I teach myself. That's the first class. It's really a kind of an introduction into the program, get your feet wet into what being a paralegal is about, and get you exposure into the various different areas of law that you'll see as a paralegal. Then you have professional responsibility, legal ethics, legal research and writing, civil procedure, corporations, criminal law and procedure, torts, contract law, and of course, at the end, you will do a culminating internship, which requires you to do 90 hours of a paralegal internship in the field that working as a paralegal. Within that, we also have two practice areas or specialization areas. That'll be general practice track or litigation track. And that allows students to specialize in the area that they're most interested in. If you want to be more of a general paralegal, they have courses in administrative law, constitutional law, family law, real estate law, wills and trusts and estates, and advanced legal research. If you're more interested in working on trials and trial work, that will be the litigation practice side. and that includes constitutional law evidence, civil procedure 2, e-discovery, trial practice, and advanced legal research. So really you can tailor education based on what type of area of law you're most interested in. And also, I generally get questions from students that, what if I want to take classes from both tracks? We can definitely do that, and you can kind of shape your electives as you wish. Additionally, for those students who are looking to go further and get a bachelor's degree, all the paralegal classes will transfer into the base degree, which is our degree of Bachelor of Arts in Interdisciplinary Studies. That is 120 credits, and that is a 4-year degree. And any class you take for either the certificate or the AA in Paralegal Studies will transfer directly into our 4-year program, which is the base degree. We have a ton of different student services on campus into supporting our students. Obviously, personalized advising. I myself am the advisor for the paralegal program, so you'll be able to talk with me every semester or on an even more regular basis if you wish about your success and continued success and planning out your schedules, whether it's looking for jobs and getting internships. Pretty much any advice you need regarding the actual paralegal program, I'd be the person to go to. On top of that, we have the Center for Academic Success, which includes a math center, a writing center, a tutoring center, and career services. And that helps you find jobs and internships as well. So there's plenty of different services for students needing, whether it's help for classes or help for their career. The Center for Academic Success can help with that as well. Of course, we have libraries on campus, virtual and online. And all paralegal students additionally will have access to the law school library, which has advanced librarians who are adept in the areas of legal research and writing and can assist you there as well. And for any students who have a disability, we have a DSS or Disability Support Services. And for those students needing accommodations for classes, DSS would be the place to go. They can provide you a letter stating that you need accommodations, maybe additional test time for taking tests or assignments. And this letter is completely confidential. It won't even say why you're getting the accommodation or what the accommodation specifically is for. It'll just say what the teacher's required to allow you, whether it's additional time. And you can use that letter at your leisure or at your choice. If you decide to use it, you can. If you don't want to use it for a class, you don't have to. Additionally, we have a counseling center, which can provide counseling if you're dealing with any personal issues or want to talk to someone. We have that. And within the counseling center, we also have the religious support services, and they can also provide counseling as well through the Catholic ministries. And last but not least, we have 24/7 computer access, and we're a wireless campus. Specifically, Leahy Hall has a 24-hour computer lab that is always open for students. I did in the creating community section. I already did mention campus ministry. They can be a great resource if you just want somebody to talk to, whether it's religious guidance or just personal guidance. We have student health services on campus and athletic services as well. Gyms on campus, ways to stay healthy. And within the student health service, if you're looking for health insurance, they do have that available for students as well. And there's various things going on campus. There's an organization pretty much for anything you're looking for. If you're into a specific sport, a specific hobby, there's things like that, organizations that can pique that interest as well. And as for specifics about the classes, all paralegal courses and pretty much every course at Metro as well meets Mondays through Thursdays. There's no weekend classes. Our classes are 14 weeks or full semesters, and they go from 6 to 8:50 p.m. in the evenings. So you won't have weekend classes, and generally students take 2 to 3 classes a week, so that would get you with 9 credits, 6 to 9 credits in that semester. All right, I'll pass it over to Mike to discuss financial aid and scholarships. Oh, that might have been me. I'm sorry. Sorry about that. I hit the wrong button. I'd like to pause
All right. Perfect. Thank you, Chad. All right. So how to apply for financial aid because these are undergrad. Oh, what happened there? Well, I'll just keep talking. No, totally fine. Yep, but because these are undergrad degrees, they do qualify for financial aid. Now, the one that does not will be the certificate. So please be mindful of that as you are applying. One thing I always tell students is to be aware of just how much courses do cost. You don't want to set yourself up to be in debt and won't be able to pay these items back. But because there is FAFSA, that does kind of negate that. So typically you don't know if you will or will not qualify just at face value. So you will need to log on to FAFSA.ed.gov and fill that out. As soon as you complete that at the end of the your FAFSA application, they will notify you if you are eligible. Typically, you receive anywhere from $3,500 to $5,500 per semester. So again, please do that. And the Catholic University code is listed at the bottom. And even if say if Catholic is your last option for school, you still want to input all the schools that you are interested in. That way, once you complete it, you input all of the schools, and whenever you do make a decision on which school you would like to go to, you'll see that listed there, and the financial aid office will be able to be notified, and it'll be a seamless transition. So this is what it will look like once you log on to or go to this page. You want to go to either log in if you are a returning user, but if you are starting a brand new application, you'll want to go to start a new FAFSA. One new feature this year that is great, I must say, is the feature that you can log in and you can use last year's data. You can also use your tax return data that can just sync directly to the IRS. So if you have your IRS login via web, you'll just input your credentials and they'll just communicate back and forth, opposed to you going through and finding the documents and doing that manually. So that is a great option to use. The type of fundings that the federal aid does offer, again, these are undergraduate degrees, so you do have grants. There are also subsidized and unsubsidized loans. And as you go through the FAFSA application, it will tell you specifically how much things will cost once you do get accepted into our program and you do register for classes. You'll see that bill. Then you can go back and use the online tool to know exactly how much that you will have left over, or if you won't have any left over, and how much more the net is that you have to pay out of pocket. But you also have commercial loans, employer tuition benefits. Please speak to your employer to see if you are eligible for that, as well as the GI Bill and Yellow Ribbon if you are a veteran. And then the federal and DC government scholarships, if you do work for either or, you do get a 10% scholarship towards your tuition. Now, if you note the undergraduate tuition, it does say $915. However, the cost will be $950, which is the same as the graduate tuition. But once that is discounted, it will be at that $855 per credit hour. As far as other scholarships are available, you do have the Community College Transfer Scholarship and the Sheehy Scholarship. Now, information about these scholarships are listed on our website specifically, as far as the ins and outs and how much they are per scholarship. Now, I will mind you, each year we have multiple students applying to scholarships. So the sooner that you do apply, and as soon as you do apply to these scholarships as well, will kind of optimize and maximize how much you can get and how much you are eligible for. If you wait to the last minute to apply to a program, that means you'll probably wait to the last minute to apply to a scholarship, and chances are the money will be depleted that we do have to give. And as far as the financial aid, so again, I am the Assistant Director of Admissions. Chad is the advisor. So if you do come to us about financial aid specifics, we will not be able to answer those questions because we do not have the ins and outs. Yes, we can go and look at your bill and answer those questions for you. However, we won't be able to answer the questions pertaining to how much aid you will be awarded for fall, summer, and spring. You will need to contact your financial aid counselor, and their contact information is listed here. If you want to jot down this number now, you can. If not, at the end of the presentation, I'll go back to the slide and give it to you. As far as the admissions is concerned, what is required will be an online application, statement of purpose, resume, letter of recommendation, and transcripts. Now, your transcripts must be official, coming from either your high school or your college and or high school and college transcripts there. So if you do walk into my office and hand me a transcript that you have opened and try to give to me, I will not accept that. I will look at it and give you my feedback. However, we will need your official transcripts prior to you being admitted into the program. Your resume pretty much speaks for itself. We all know what that looks like, but please bring a resume that is up to date, that has minimal to no errors on that. If you would like assistance with that, you feel free to bring it into my office, and I'll do my best to help you with the little expertise I do have as it pertains to resumes. But I can kind of help you as far as just comparatively what I typically see in students' resumes and so forth. The letter of recommendation, students often ask about that. The letter of recommendation, we only require one. However, if you would like to send me two, feel free. And what I would look for is someone that can attest to not only what you can bring to the university, but also just what you will be obtaining towards the future once you do get done. I would like to see other people speak to me about your dreams. You know, have you communicated to your director now or your manager, even your friends, who you plan to be once you do graduate, as well as past experiences and how your relevant work now will contribute to not only just the Catholic mission as a whole, but the Catholic mission of the university. And then the online application that takes honestly about 20 minutes to complete. If you go straight through uploading your resume, including your statement of purpose and so forth. But lastly, speaking on the statement of purpose, I would like to know about you, similar to the letter of recommendation, but this would be first person. I would like to know about what Ebony does on a day-to-day basis. You know, what Marla's Thursday nights look like. If that was a class that she does, or a day that she does have class, you know, what is Marla going to do on a Thursday night, and how is she going to manipulate her schedule to accommodate the necessities in her life, and how are you going to prioritize that? And then tell me your dreams and goals. So if Rolanda wants to be a paralegal here in DC, I would like to know why. And then with Susan, if you want to be a lawyer down the road, say in the next 6 years, it is your goal to not only graduate, but then to apply to grad school and law school. You know, tell me why. Tell me how those dreams came about. But then also, please be sure and make sure you do include the why behind you are applying. And then once you do apply, where you plan to go. All right. And please contact myself or Chad for an appointment. There will be some days where I may be in office a little bit earlier than Chad, or where Chad may be staying in office a little bit later than I am. Today I went to a recruiting event, so I was out of office. So if you wanted to come in office today, Chad would have been the person that you would need to contact and meet with. Whereas, say tomorrow, Chad may be out of office. I'll be the person that you will need to come and speak with. However, you can always start with me. My contact information is here. I will also include my uh, email post this. I'll have my email in there so where you can email me and communicate with me as best. It'll probably be best to not only give me a call but also email. If you do give me a call, please leave a message because even if I'm off campus at an event, the message will go directly to my computer or my cell phone. And then once I see that your name is listed, your number is listed, I'll check it and then I'll email you back because chances are if you give me a call, I probably have your email address somewhere in the student profile section or just with previous communications. Priority deadlines. You see Monday, October 28th is the first priority deadline. So what does that mean? Priority deadline is if you get your application in before this deadline, specifically before the Monday, October 28th deadline, we'll be sure to make sure that you have your an answer within 2 weeks. We try to set these deadlines up in order for you to have an answer in a timely manner to where you can not only just apply and finish your application, but also receive an admission review. And if there's anything that I would have questions on once I receive all the documents, that still gives us time to have communications before, say, Thanksgiving holidays and so forth. Because once Thanksgiving rolls around, the communication will slow down just naturally with myself and the students as we'll both be tending to our families. I personally will be traveling back to Florida to spend time with my family down there, so communication again will be slow. But as far as submitting your application, this does not mean once you start an application and you hit submit that your application is complete. That is not a complete application. A complete application is an application that has your not only just hitting submit, but your letter of recommendation, that one or two, whichever you prefer, your statement of purpose, all of your official transcripts, whether high school and or college, as well as your statement of purpose and your FAFSA. So I always like to include FAFSA in there, even though FAFSA is not necessarily on our requirement list. But again, because these are undergrad programs and you would like to know how much you will owe, or maybe you won't owe anything, but you want to know these things prior to enrolling in classes. You don't want to be the first day of class and you're hit with a $4,000 bill because you didn't go back and finish your FAFSA application. So be sure to get your application submitted both before the first priority deadline as well as the second priority deadline. And again, if you have any questions about that, I'm here. Feel free to ask me. I will be the one reviewing your admissions package. So there will be an interview that does take place. You don't have to come in a suit or anything. The interview can take place over the phone. We can meet at Starbucks and meet in my office, whatever works for you. I want to make sure that you are in a comfortable environment to where you can articulate not only just on paper, because I'll see that within your resume and statement of purpose, but I want to be able to, see you and be able to, for you to be able to articulate your why. That's what I care about. We all have gone through different things in life, and just because you are just now starting a paralegal certificate or you're finishing your undergrad, that doesn't mean that you're going to be any less or any more successful than someone
I actually
who
have one
does
more thing to share
not
with
have the
them.
experience
Actually,
you have, or
just
someone that
want to
has
let
a
them
little
know
bit more
that
experience than you
all the
have.
paralegal
But I want to make sure
classes are
that you are
taught
able
by
to
people with
succeed
Juris
in the things
Doctorates, which
that
are and
I
practicing
feel
attorneys.
will
So
not only
they're
just
all
benefit the
adjunct
school, but also
professors,
benefit
people
you.
who are working in the field, not
So
just
with
career
that, does anyone
teachers. They're
have
people that are
any
practicing, knowing
questions
best practices, and we
for
really
myself
tailor our
or Chad?
courses
And if
to
you don't have
train
any
paralegals.
questions
Not just
or
learning in legal theory, but
want to speak
actually how to
further,
put pen to paper, how to
go ahead.
actually be a paralegal and be successful at it. So if there's any questions, I'd be happy to answer them. If you have any specific questions, whether you want to ask them now or send it to via email, we'd be happy to help.
Great point to add. Does all right. Well, if I don't see anyone
Also, one more
typing,
thing, if anybody would like to visit a
if you
live
don't have
paralegal
any
class,
questions
we do
now,
sample
as Chad
classes.
noted, totally
Generally, it's in
fine.
my intro class, and
We
this
look forward
semester
to
that's
seeing
on
your
Thursday
application in.
evenings.
But
But
if
we do have other
not,
classes you could visit.
everyone
But if
have
you
a
would like
great
to see
evening. I left the board
paralegals
back to the
and a class
slide
in
to
action,
set up an appointment with
you can let me
Chad or
know and we could
myself.
set it up.
Oh, I see Marla typing. Oh, thanks. Okay. Well, thank you, Marla.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Perfect. All right, everyone. Well, if you have yet to have dinner, please have dinner, and I hope everyone has a great night.